When I was in the second grade, my teacher, who my class and I affectionately referred to as Mrs. S, was often tasked with providing activities to calm her otherwise very noisy bunch. One day, she decided to organize a class spelling bee. Now, my class consisted of about 28 kids, and all of us were very eager to show off our prowess at spelling. She gave us 1 week's time and provided a list of words consisting of words that we had learned in the previous month's spelling unit, and we all began to study. Time quickly passed, and soon the day had come, the day of the spelling bee. My class walked in and eagerly filed from the front to the back, ready to spell whatever word was placed in front of them and ready to show Mrs. S just how much work they had put in. Mrs. S walked one by one down the line, asking first very easy words like cat or dog or book, but eventually progressing to more and more difficult words consisting of 8 or even 9 letters. As the words became more hard, 28 students became 27, then 26, then 25, then 24, and all the way down to 3, and finally, just 2. Myself and a girl named Sarah. Now, I had seen Sarah preparing long and hard for this spelling bee, both in class and I'm sure out of class, so it came as no surprise to me that she had lasted this long. And I was just waiting and waiting, hoping that one of us or the other would get a word wrong so the spelling bee could be over and we could go to my favorite subject, math. However, that wasn't the case. We kept going, neither of us getting a word wrong, continuing until, much to the astonishment of the entire class, Mrs. S had announced there was no more words. We were wondered, perplexed. What's going to go on now? What are we going to do? Mrs. S, quick to think, gave us a 3 to 5 minute break while she created a more challenging list. During this break, I overheard Sarah telling her friends just how happy she was to have made it this far. But I also heard her expressing hope that she could win, because I knew that spelling was her best subject, and I'm sure she wanted to make her parents proud and wanted to understand the beauty of being the winner. Now, when I heard her say these statements, I began to get very conflicted. One part of me wanted to win this for myself, wanted to go home and tell my mom and dad, Mom, Dad, guess what? I won the spelling bee. But another part of me wanted to let Sarah, who I had seen do all of this work, take home the prize. I remained in this conflicted state, but when Mrs. S had announced the end of the break, I had made my mind. The first word after the break was astronaut. Very simple word. I had heard it before, I had seen it many times, and I knew very well how to spell it. I took a deep breath, thinking about what I had decided, and began to spell. A, S, T, R, O, N, A, U, T, E. And just like that, I had crossed the line. I had made the move that couldn't be taken back. I had allowed Sarah to win this competition, as I knew she knew how to spell astronaut. I had done something that I don't think I have expressly seen been done since then. On that day, I had shown compassion. I had been able to be empathetic to what others were feeling. You see, on that day, my mind and my heart decided on one thing, which is that it was right for Sarah to take home what she had prepared for. In today's society, people are often so consumed with making themselves go forward that they rarely see the emotions of those they leave behind. On that day, I was able to recognize that I would have a second chance sometime in the future. I would have my own chance to prove my own prowess. I was able to recognize what Sarah wanted. You see, I'm sure this has been done to me many times since then, and I'm sure that I have passed these opportunities without recognizing it, but I still feel that this could be more and more available in humankind, and I feel that if compassion can be mastered, a world could be perfect. On that day, in that room, most people would say that Sarah was the winner, that she had taken it all. However, I think there were two winners in that room. There was Sarah, who was able to prove to her parents that she could spell, who was able to prove to herself, more importantly, that by studying and putting in the effort, great things could be won in life. But then there was me, because I was unable to grasp the meaning of compassion. Thank you.